Hey guys, I'm Lexie J from Featurette, and you're watching The Music Enthusiast.
Hi, what's up? I'm Sarah from Music Enthusiast, and today I'm here with one of my favorites ever, Lexie J of Featurette. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
Me too. I'm literally so happy to be talking to you. Anytime I get to talk to you, I take that shot.
I love it.
So first off, how are your cats? I mean, I saw them just a few minutes ago, but how are they?
This is already my favorite interview of all time. You can put it in the credits. My cats are great. This is a very on-brand question for me. Thank you for asking. Mishka and Pico have recently gotten spayed. Spay and neuter your pets. It's a responsible part of being a pet owner. And they had these little red sweaters that they had to wear for like the past 3 weeks. So they're like wandering around in these cute sweaters. And just this morning, I took them off and they like shook themselves out and they're like, woof, in these poofy little coats. They're so cute. I die. I die.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I mean, how have you been lately?
Lately has been great, actually. I think that like okay, I have discovered a new corner of art. I know that it exists already, but for me, I have like entered it personally, okay? Like art is therapy, art is healing. We hear these things. I am like living proof, okay? I made something that came from like the depths of bad mental health in COVID, being locked down for a year, watching your career kind of like crumble and die and fizzle out to like not caring about numbers and statistics and making art for art, which is like that gets me jazzed. Like that makes me want to fly. And everything lined up. It was so beautiful. Factor Canada out of the blue. They were like, here's money for a music video. And I was like, thank you very much. I run away with this now. And we made this like beautiful, stunning piece, which was supposed to be for the Blame, the original version of the Blame on Dream Riot. It was supposed to be for that, which is so crazy because that song, it's a cool song, but it was like me hiding in lyrics. I was like, oh, like, yo, we're gonna just like hide under the covers. Like I said the words, that'll be enough for me to get my story out. And like for context here, in case you haven't heard the other conversations about this, we're talking about trigger warning, sexual abuse, and what happened to me in my past. And this interview will be focusing on the healing efforts of that in my life, which I think is really beautiful. So we were about to like make this song and make the music video for it, and I was gonna have to dance in it and sing in it. And once you do that, you can't go back. Like you have the final version, right? So like literally 3 weeks before, I was like, John, we're redoing the whole thing. We are changing it. Like I was like holding his hands. I'm like bawling. I'm like, we can't do it this way. It has to be real. And he agreed. And we like went right down to the wire. I think I got the final song version, like the Blame Exposed version, like the day before we started filming. So yeah, it was serendipitous and gorgeous. And now the art is real and it's the full story. And I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, how many versions did this song go through? Because I know it's so personal, so I mean, you had to make it
So
so.
personal. Yeah, like I think when we were originally making it, it was just like acoustic piano thing. And then John and I featuretified it, which is like taking it apart and putting all these crazy tracks on top of it and turning it into the song on Dream Riot, which is like an EDM, like pop, like pretty hard track, right? And but what's crazy about that is we could never really get the treatment right. We couldn't line it up. And this is a really hot tip. But You Do You, the song dedicated to literally you. Nice. So that song, if you listen to the track and if you like superimpose the original version of the Blame over top of it, those two tracks were written for You Do You. They were like an A and a B for which one will we pick? Because like the treatments of them are like they're different treatments, but the chords are like almost the same the way that it came out in the wash. So when we had those two for You Do You, I picked the one for You Do You. I was like, this is it. This was perfect. Love it. And then I had this track left over, and I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to address my feelings. So I like put the blame on that one, and I was like, we did it, and I was wrong. So we tore it apart and just yeah, like maybe like four, five, six different versions before we got it right. Yeah, wild.
Yeah, and I mean, I know you felt like so sad like after releasing the Blame, the exposed version. So how are you feeling now? Are you feeling a bit better?
Yeah, I don't even think it was sad. I think it was like overwhelmed. I think it was like I gave birth to like something and like exposed my like exposed version. We called it that because it is literally like I cracked myself open and I
Yeah.
had this wound that was like healed like shittily over and I like cracked it open and cleaned it out completely, which is a painful process. Cleaning a wound, not a nice friendly thing. But then when I put the art out there and everything was clean, like now it can heal. Like now I feel better inside because of art I made. Like that's wild to me. Like I get it now. Like I don't care how many songs I made before, I feel in my heart like this is the first thing I've ever done. And I think it's going to have like a domino effect on all the art that I put out after the fact. I hope it does.
It totally will. I mean, you're inspiring so many other people to do the same. So, I mean, what messages do you want to send to people either listening or making music of their own like this?
Yeah, I think for those listening, and for people who've been through it, and I know there's a lot. There's way too many, and there are people I know, there are artists, there are non-artists, there are everybody in between, there are women, there are men, there are everybody in between. Like again, like it's just all walks of life have come forward and been like, hey, this has been my experience, and like thank you for representing me in this way because like this art resonated with me. I think to those people, like even just like my inbox is open, you know, if you have a story that you need to get off your chest, like I'm doing my best not to take everything on inside all at once, but even just saying it is like freeing. I think my DMs have become like the post secret of like the modern age where like people are like, hey, I've never told anyone this, but I'm going to tell you, take this to your grave. And I'm like, okay, like we're in this together now. Like we've built something beautiful. And like, even if those aren't the people being like, you know, like spamming it, sharing it because it's so like hard to see. Like that wasn't my mission with this. This song wasn't like this is the one that's gonna get us famous because of vulnerability. Like I don't care. I couldn't care less. This song is about like reaching one person and like changing their story for the better. And it's done that like a bunch of times already. A bunch of times. I might actually make a documentary with somebody whose life it has changed so drastically that he's coming out with his story about what happened when he was 9. So like that's really crazy. Might do that in August. We will see. Stay tuned.
I mean, that can be great. Obviously, this event isn't so fun, but that'll be so great to see. So,
Yeah.
the music video is also amazing. I mean, there's like, I sort of want to call them Easter eggs, but like little hidden messages in there with like
Yeah.
birthday
Yeah.
cake and stuff. So, did you come up with those?
Yeah, yeah. So this is my baby. If you've seen the music videos we've been putting out, you probably get the sense that I've had a hand in a lot of those. In fact, all of them. And it's like something I'm incredibly passionate about. Actually, if you're an artist and you're watching this and you need some sort of director queen, hit me up because I want to do this more. Like I'm just in love with making music videos. I think it's the coolest thing ever. And this one, like You Do You was the one I had the most hand in until we made this one. You Do You was like I was scouting the location, I was scouting for talent, I was directing it. I actually had the camera rig on my body at one point. It's giant. It weighs as much as I do.
Oh
And
my,
was like filming my director with this like steady cam because I wanted him to be in it too because he's part of the story, right? And this one was like that like on glue. It was crazy. We made these giant pencils, John and I. They were like 8 to 10 feet tall. They were so big, and like became this like props master thing. I wrote the whole treatment for it. Like every corner of this music video came from a dark corner of my brain where I was like, this is how, like when I'm listening to this song, this is what I see. And then I projected that and made it into like a room full of paper airplanes that I folded myself, like my damn self. There was no like crew helping with this because it's COVID. And like while I was folding that, like I'm like thinking of like all the things I need to put into this video, you know. I'm like folding this airplane and being like, this is for you, you know, like this one goes out to this person, this one goes out to, and like all the people that I wanted to like bring with me into this space of healing. Yeah.
yeah. And I know you're super artsy, like you've been saying. So, I wanted to ask about the LADF. How is it doing?
Yeah. The F is alive. She alive. Okay. She's a pretty like ratchet creation. Okay. I mean, she's like a bedroom light show, which I think is beautiful. But we took her right before the pandemic, we took her out to Vancouver and she toured with us. which is wild. She went all the way driving from Vancouver to Alberta and like back through Edmonton, Calgary, back over to the island. Like it was wild, in a giant like flight case. So she probably needs some like facelift surgery situation, but she's hanging in there. And I can't wait for the Toronto show that she was supposed to have played at a week after March 13th, 2020, the day that everything ended. Yeah, the next Friday we were literally set to do our hometown like show, and it was sold out, and it was going to be amazing. But she didn't get to play that show, the F. So I'll revamp her for when life goes back to normal. I can't wait. Oh my god, I can't wait.
That girl's been through so much. She almost died. I think she did die.
She fucking died a lot of times. She PTFO'd at like the biggest show we ever played once, and I was like, cool, 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 cool. She's just behind like, like dying on stage, but it made people take pictures, and that's neat too. So, yeah,
Like,
if you haven't seen it, check the Instagram. I left a bunch of photos of her up in there because she deserves light, a spotlight of her own, you know.
she really does. She really makes the show so much better. It just
Yeah.
the whole vibe too.
Every time I have to fix her, I take up a religion and pray. I'm not a very religious person. I'm a very spiritual person, but like I've like taken up some sort of like, and I like pray that it works when we turn it on. One time it caught fire, you know, very safe.
Oh my god, she is a wild thing.
She's a wild child. She has as much energy as I do.
You either bring like crystals along and like line them up around her and see if like that works when she dies.
Check the crystal magic.
Amazing.
Yes. The answer is yes. There will be crystals healing RF in the future. 100.
Great. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's coming next?
Girl, okay, I don't know when this is coming out, but I feel like by the time this is out, I will have, talking to my future self now, you will have put your JSR, your next JSR for Factor in, and you're gonna get it. And it's gonna be your third of 3 Factor grants that you are allowed to get in your career. So this is the one, bitch. And yeah, so we've already like got our next album more than partially written. I'd say maybe 3/4 written, 1/4 produced kind of thing. So we're like trucking, we're doing the thing because, okay, Dream Riot is a fantastic piece of art. The Blame aside, and the new version of The Blame saving the old version of The Blame. It's a great song, but it wasn't art. It was just a song. And I think that record got really stomped on by the pandemic, and I don't want to go back now and be like, hey, like my new record, because it's not new anymore. It's from January 2020, and that whole year was like Black Lives Matter and shit that actually did matter, and not me being like, look at my band. Like I don't, again, this is a journey of greater than me, a journey of healing and just like doing the right thing. And the right thing didn't feel like pushing my record during a global pandemic when morale is at an all-time low, and like trying to spin it like, oh, this will help. Like it won't. So anyway, I still have lots of vinyl of that record that I fully intend to sell when we do our live shows. So if anybody wants to hit me up for that, our Bandcamp is going to be linked, maybe below, maybe not, maybe you'll have to linked below. And yeah, I think it's just like onward and upward, you know, like that record did its own thing. We got so many awesome music videos out of it, like such beautiful like stuff that we create, like Million Things music video. What a thing, like that is great. And it got so many views, like it did a thing for us for sure. It didn't hit in the way it could have because of the timing, but like whatever, onward and upward, like I said. So I have my 3 like pre-album release cycle singles ready to rock, and they are they're everything that I ever wished I could make, and I could not be more excited. I actually made 2 of them while we were on tour. I went out to BC and I was writing with Brian Worsley, and we brought our producer Mark, and that was like part of our journey. It was like touring and finishing up these songs, and they are bing bang. It's very good.
This is like exclusive news to me. You didn't tell me about.
Yeah, I didn't tell you about this. I haven't told anybody about this. It's all for you, Sarah. All for you. You're my one and only, my first girl, my first.
Amazing. I'm honored as always. When you come to Montreal next, be there.
You better be there.
So this is a fun question. If you could describe your music as an animal, which one would it be and why?
don't I like have to pick a rabbit?
That makes sense.
Isn't that like so classic? I would want to pick a cat also because we have a million things that has so many cats in it. But okay, this is a weird thing actually. Hold on, I need a prop.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a weird thing. This rabbit like recently found me. I believe it belongs to my grandfather. My mom gave it to me. It's like a little brass dude. I've never seen it before in my life until after he passed, but I've realized that these rabbits have been following me around like quite a lot, like since the very first thing that we were making, Crave. Oh, you get another exclusive. Check this out. Crave was called Smoke and Mirrors before we called it Crave. It's
Yeah,
a
I knew.
two-part. Yeah, okay. So not a lot of people know it because we had to rebrand it. Why did we rebrand it? Because Imagine Dragons, the freaking like day before we were set to release, came out with their thing, Smoke and Mirrors, and I was like, well, shit, this stomps on everything too. So we rebranded as Crave, which is great. Like it's a great title. But anyway, the original art for that was a whole campaign of rabbits. Weird, okay, like a real photography with like a real bunny, and I have them. I don't think anyone's ever seen that iteration of the website before. Okay, so then there was that. And then, of course, Crave didn't have the rabbits, but it was supposed to. And then White Rabbit happened and all that rabbit imagery. And like currently in my bio, it's like, I think my one liner is like, if Alice made Dream Pop in Wonderland or something like that. And there's like a little rabbit beside it. And it's just this like through the looking glass thing of like, it's electro pop, but it's not dark pop, it's not future pop, it's like next pop. We're calling it now. I've just done it right now. Next pop. And I think the rabbits have a lot to do with that. It's like chasing the dragon sort of imagery of like this like elusive white rabbit thing that we've been after. So that's where we're headed. Yeah.
Amazing.
Cool. Cool story, Lex.
I loved it. So last question. I'm really sad for this to end, but who are your favorite artists right now?
Oh my God, there's so much good music out there. Okay. Who is this guy's name? It always escapes me. Please note, feel free to like do an edit here. I'm dyslexic and my name is Lexie. Middle school was hard for me. My nickname was Dyslexie. How rude. Um, I think his name has Malcolm in it and his song is Helen. Oliver Malcolm?
Let me look it up.
Oliver Matthew? One of those two? Despite his name, he has crept into my brain and lived there for a while. If you haven't checked out the song Helen, check it out. It is like beautiful and insane. It feels very unhinged. What's his
Malcolm.
Oliver Malcolm. I did it. Oliver Malcolm. Okay. That guy's cool. Louis the Child or Louis the Child, however you want to pronounce it, is 66666. And I've been a diehard K-Flay fan for a long time. Say that 5 times fast. But yeah, her new single, the really unhinged sounding thing, is giving me the vibes. Another Sarah exclusive. One of the things that's going to be on this upcoming record is a song that we've been playing live for the whole time we've been a band, pretty much. Do you remember Interrogation? It's like the second last song we ever play where it's like a rager and the F turns red and everything's strobing. Anyway, we're really going to do it this time. We're doing it because that song has like a cult following that's beyond me, and like we're making this, so it's happening.
I know
and,
Heather would be so happy about that.
Heather's gonna freak out. She's gonna get a whole other arm of tattoos. It's gonna be crazy. And yeah, that K-Flay song, the really unhinged, like really fucked up thing about it, just went right into the inspiration folder for that song. So yeah, sort of that direction of this like dark wave, like really like psyched out, crazy, like on the edge of your seat thing. Not that the whole record will be that way. I'm thinking of a dichotomy. I'm thinking of like light and dark, but we haven't even announced it yet. So what's the point of talking about it? I should zip the lip. I zip the lip. I'm quiet.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much again. It was so much fun talking to you. And again, a pleasure anytime.
Same, girl. Same. Always.